The other day they said, you know, you've had a roller coaster of a life. Yeah, you know, and if I didn't have a roller coaster, how would I know? How would I be able to sing about the things? How would I be able to feel what I'm singing about? How would I be able to hear someone sing a song and brings tears to my eyes? Why? Because I feel that and because I understand that.
Hi everybody, I'm Valencia Jean, your host of Straight to the Point, Straight to the Streets. We're talking about all the T's, and today's T is vulnerability. To me, that just means that you're wearing your heart on your sleeve, and at any moment you know that it could be taken, stabbed, cut off, it could be bleeding, and you're still willing to give part of yourself to either a community, a partner, or friends or family. So now we're going to ask a couple of people on the street what they think of vulnerability. Tell us a time where you had to be vulnerable.
It's probably like anytime I'm out in public and I don't feel like protected by maybe someone or something.
I guess like going to college for the first time. I feel like that was a huge milestone for me. Not only that, but not only physically but also emotionally. I feel like I had to learn to be vulnerable with myself, both physically and emotionally.
Oh gosh, when I was young, just going from a teen to adulthood, it was extremely scary for me because stepping into it, that meant that no longer mommy's going to hold my hand through this life. And then when I lost my mom was another one. I was extremely vulnerable at that time.
I'll say my most recent experience with creating a project for my job, and it was all hands on deck, and I jumped into a field of styling, which I wasn't really aware of.
Yeah.
I'm vulnerable each and every day. I'm a person that lives with anxiety. As I tell folks, I can go from 0 to 100 real quick. And then I have to remind myself that bad thing's not going to happen. Take some deep breaths, breathe. It's good. I also am a mother of a child that has autism.
Okay.
And he's 13 years old. And as a black mother of a black male, I worry about each and every day how people are going to perceive him. He's not necessarily verbal.
Right.
He can barely say his name or his mom. You may not be able to understand him.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen to him if he's having an emergency and he's not in my and dad's care? And so I have to be vulnerable each and every day.
Yeah.
My name is just mom, and I am mom of a child that is vulnerable.
Yes.
So I have to be able to say that each and every day with a little something in my chest with
Okay.
it. Because if you don't speak up for the people that you love, you're not going to get the response that you need.
I feel like it's easy for you to be vulnerable or it's difficult?
I feel like it's difficult, especially with like the whole masculinity thing and like men not really allowing themselves to be vulnerable. I've had like a huge milestone with me going to college and like me learning to be again more comfortable in like my identity, sexuality, me learning to be more comfortable with being vulnerable with different.
At this state where I am right now in my life, since I finished writing my book, I feel like that I'm open and honest now. It's finally all the secrets are out. No one can say, I remember when this and that. So it feels very good now. I can walk every day with my head up high.
Do you think being vulnerable is a weakness or a strength, and why?
I think it's a strength. I think it is a strength for sure, and I think it's a strength because, like I said, it's best to learn from somebody, and that's how we all just continue to grow and be our best, individual self that we can be.
Vulnerability, it almost describes as weakness. You're kind of weak, you're kind of open and susceptible to your surroundings.
Do you think it's truly possible to grow without being vulnerable?
I don't think so. I don't think so. It's just something that it's like a coming full circle with your life, and it's something that it's a part of you. It should be a part of you.
Yes.
It's your essence, it's your soul, it's your spirit, it's all of you.
Yes, but you wouldn't grow emotionally. Like you can grow occupationally, you can grow physically, but emotionally and like actually learning to be like around people that you want to be with and be comfortable with yourself, I feel like it's a no.
It is possible to grow without being vulnerable, but to a certain extent.
Right.
and I believe when you are vulnerable, you can reach those new heights.
Yeah.
Because you are just breaking the ceiling of just having like those self beliefs of like that you think you know everything, but once you learn from other people and stuff, you can just see a whole new perspective.
Yeah.
So I feel like being vulnerable, you can definitely reach higher heights than not being vulnerable.
Being vulnerable kind of allows you to get to know yourself better, like getting to know other people better.
Right.
I feel like if you're not vulnerable, you kind of become mundane. Like a lot of the things that you experience are either black or white, when, you know, there's obviously like a whole gray area when it comes to the experiences that you have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How do you allow yourself to be vulnerable and protect yourself at the same damn time?
Not exposing all of me.
Okay.
Not all of me. I'm gonna give you some of me, like a glimpse, you know, but not all of me. I'm gonna protect, you know, my secret parts of me, you know.
Probably just to know who I can share information with and when I can do it, because I don't want to share something that I'm sensitive about early on when I'm getting to know a person. But of course, if they're like someone I could like trust and all that, then of course then I'll share like more sensitive, down to earth information with them.
Having a common ground, but also just like standing your own ground to where you know that you are stronger, you can grow, you know, in this way.
Yeah.
We need to be vulnerable. We need to tell people when we're hurting. Otherwise, we're not going to be here. Being a child and adolescent psychiatrist, the rate of suicidality for our Black and brown children post-COVID is astronomical.
Wow.
It's higher than anybody else.
Yeah.
So we have to figure out. And so again, I'm an old person. I'm 21.
Okay.
I might be 47. I'm just saying.
Beautiful.
But there are younger people that are growing up under us, and we need to figure out how to protect them and teach them. So again, as y'all were talking about this interview, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, it's mental health. I wanted to come. If it wasn't, I was going to be like, bye, y'all. But this is so important to me because we need to. We have a different generation that's behind us, and we need to support them, and it looks very different from when I grew up.
Yes.
As a 47-year-old in the South, where the TV went off at 11 p.m. And we had telephones that still had cords on them, all that stuff. We need to learn how to talk their language, know what they're talking about, because they're talking over our heads sometimes. And so it's so important to share this message. So appreciate y'all and the grace that y'all have given me and extended me.
Thank you so much.
Straight.
So my name is Dwayne. You guys can find me on Instagram at Dwayne, as DWAYNE, Baker, BAKER, then JR / so Dwayne Baker Jr. _ And I'm originally from Washington, D.C., uptown D.C., and I'm just a fashion designer / fashion retail salesman inside of Ron Davis Studio. And I'm just looking to connect with all creatives just within the DMV area.
I wrote a book. It's called From Creeping to Preaching. I'm a native Washingtonian, born and raised, still live here. So it talks about bullying, unwanted pregnancies, and also physical abuse as a teen. I had 5 abortions and 1 birth I gave to my son. The book is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. So I also have a nonprofit. It's called Creeping to Teaching, which is for the teens, because now in this social and climate that we have right now, I believe that teens need a space, a safe space where they can sit down and talk about the things that they're going through.